discussion, and we're talking about some things important as always. Now, October, as we know it, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and today is the 30th. It means that we have just one more day to end the awareness. I mean, but this month, everywhere you pass, you see pink. Everybody is wearing pink. I mean, not everybody, but most people are wearing pink, making a lot of noise about breast cancer. But beyond the walks, beyond the the screenings and the campaigns, there's another part of this conversation we don't talk about enough, and it's actually the role of the role our daily lifestyle and diet actually play in preventing breast cancer. Because we've had conversations on the how you can develop breast cancer and all of these things, how you can deal with that. But one part that we don't talk about enough is how our lifestyle and our diet actually play a role in preventing breast cancer. And so today we're diving into that, how what we eat, how we live, and even the little habits we overlook can either protect us or put us at risk. And my guest this morning is a dietitian. He's a registered licensed dietitian at the Valley View Hospital. His name is Julius Sama, or Sama. I'm not too sure if that is a pronunciation. And he joins me this morning for this conversation, and we're unpacking how nutrition, exercise, healthy living, and all of these things can actually make a big difference, not just for women, but for all of us. Julius, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. How are you too?
Yeah, I'm doing very good too myself. Thank you so much for making time to join us this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to be here too.
All right, great. Okay, so let's get into our conversation this morning. Now, we all know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and people wear pink. We do all kinds of things pink, and I want us to start a conversation from here. Why is it important to actually connect nutrition and lifestyle with breast cancer awareness?
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nee, and thank you for your team for the opportunity. Definitely, I know some listeners are out there, so I also want to say good morning to them for being on the call this morning and also to get educated. All right. So, Nee, you remember last month? Last month was prostate cancer, right?
Yeah.
But when it got to prostate cancer month, the whole publicity was a bit low. And then, but when we get to pink October, that's when you see people, in their pink. You see corporate bodies even organizing programs, education. All right.
That's
So
true.
the pink education is just to actually project the prevalence, and then also to educate and create awareness about breast cancer. Now, the creation of awareness is not only for those who have breast cancer, but also for the general public, helping them stay away from lifestyle factors that can predispose them to breast cancer. So that's what the whole October is about.
It's
And October
about.
has been picked for it. And so the awareness is more in October,
Right.
but then that doesn't mean breast cancer education is only limited to October. It can happen in January down to December. Just that October is picked to actually create the awareness, and we are glad we are here now to give something to our listeners.
Great. So I'm asking that, why is it important to actually connect nutrition? You are a dietitian, so yes.
Yeah.
Why is it important to connect nutrition and lifestyle with breast cancer awareness?
Good. So day in, day out, we nourish ourselves with food. Unlike the way we fuel our cars with fuel like diesel, petrol, we fuel ourselves with food.
Yeah.
And this food goes into the body to nourish the body. That's giving it energy, helping the body develop when it comes to muscle and other organs. Also bringing the vitamins and minerals to the body. Now, that same ingredient or that same nutrient that nourishes the body, if you were to find any disease in the body, it still nourishes the disease too. So anytime you are feeding, it's either you are fighting the disease or you are feeding the disease. So if there's any disease condition in your body and you are feeding yourself, some amount of nutrient goes to it. So this is why it's very important for us to check breast cancer and then know whether we have it or not whilst we are feeding. Now, some eating habits can also predispose us to the risk for breast cancer, and which I'm sure we are going to delve in. Yeah. So, in short, your eating habits can put you at risk for breast cancer. That's why it's very important we link these two.
How exactly does that happen? How exactly does what we eat influence our risk of developing breast cancer?
Good. So, there are certain hormones that influence our lifestyle. So, say how we feel, our mood, and others. So that's the estrogen and progesterone. Okay. Now, whilst you are, engaging your daily lifestyles, we have some of the lifestyle that predispose you to breast cancer, and we call those the modifiable ones. So modifiable means this lifestyle can you can do something about it, or you can put yourself at risk for it. Right? Let's take you taking a lot of fat. So there are people that from morning to evening, whatever they are eating, it's
Hello.
just to mention names of some of the food you are eating, and your food is made of fried rice, fried chicken. The only thing on your table is that is not fried.
Hello.
Intake of fat can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Just
Good,
that the
good,
line
good.
was breaking.
All right. So that excess intake of fats is dietary habit that can put you at risk for breast cancer. Now, one risk factor is also obesity
Hello.
or being overweight. Now, being overweight means you having your weight higher than your height can handle, or your weight doesn't match your height. So we have categories for BMI. Now, your eating habits can take you out of a normal BMI, putting you at risk for breast cancer, because excess weight or obesity also have influence in this hormone, which is the
Hello, Julius. Hello. All right. So the network is not helping. So maybe we'll try and reconnect Julius, and then we can continue the conversation. Yes, but of course, the first thing he said is that what you eat actually affects affects your body generally, and also whether you're going to whether you're going to develop some kind of risk, or maybe basically what he's saying is that what we eat actually.
dietary.
Hello, Julius. Hello, Julius.
Yes. Hello.
All right. So we'll try and reconnect you, and then we can continue the conversation. I hope that is okay. So we'll try and just get in touch with you because the network is breaking. So let's see if we can have a better network, and then we continue the conversation.
Okay, Dave.
All right. Okay. All right. So yeah. So basically, what Julius was saying is that what we eat can actually influence our risk of developing cancers generally, and also even, more specifically, breast cancer. So we have to be very careful. So I'm going to ask him the kind of specific foods and all of that very soon. So he tells us which ones actually puts us at risk and which ones do not. So we'll get into that part of the conversation very soon. But we'll bring Julius back shortly for that. Please stay tuned.
Are you here with me? Awakaita sache su hakuna wakaita sache, hey, hakuna wakaita sache su haku china. Everybody say hakuna wakaita sache, hey, hakuna wakaita sache, hakuna wakaita sache, haku china. Hakuna wakai tasaje, hakuna wakai tasaje, hey, hakuna wakai tasaje, Haku, Haku, China. Everybody say, now I kind of suggest. Now I kind of suggest. Now I kind of suggest. Are you ready for this? Quese, la tenderera, quese, la trava, quese, haku, quese, la tenderera, quese, la trava, quese, haku, now let's take it again. Hakuna wakai, tasa Jesu. Hakuna wakaita saje. Hakuna wakaita saje. Hey! Haku. Everybody help me say. Hakuna wakaita saje. Hakuna wakaita saje. Hakuna wakaita saje.
All right, welcome back to the Business Breakfast on Z 101.9 FM. We have Julius back on the lines, and so we'll continue our conversation. Julius, are you with me now?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm sure you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. All right. So, you were trying to tell us how exactly what we eat influences our risk of developing cancers, especially breast cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll take that again. So I was letting us know that just as before, our body with food, which nourishes us, when it comes to giving us energy, building the body, and developing the body, it's important that as you are fueling your body and you are feeding the body, if there's any disease in the body, they also feed on those nutrition or that nourishment, right? So that means if there's a disease condition in the body and you're eating and it's not healthy, or it's healthy, still the nutrition goes to the disease organism as well. So now what I'm saying is that some intake like excess fat intake, right, or excess saturated fat intake can put you at risk for breast cancer. Why am I saying that? Because when you have a lot of fat intake from your food, it can go a long way to affect your BMI. And BMI basically means your body mass index, which is the calculation that takes reading of your weight against your weight. Because per everybody's height, you need some specific weight range. Now, if you are to see that the intake or your weight has put you to a higher BMI, that's a risk factor for breast cancer, right? And at that moment, it can affect how the estrogen and progesterone react to your body. Now, so we tried hard or very well to make sure we get people back into their weight range so that they will fall out of the obesity or overweight range to being within range. Another dietary habit that can put people at risk is excess or excessive alcohol intake, right? Now, people enjoy alcohol for different reasons. Some people enjoy alcohol if they are happy, and some people enjoy it when they are sad or they are going through a lot. But in this way, it's not healthy for the body because alcohol has no calories, no nutrients, empty calories, and alcohol doesn't help the body's metabolism. It actually affects and weakens the body's muscle. And when it comes to breast cancer, is the tissues reacting against each other.
Yeah.
So alcohol intake has tendency of causing that. Then smoking is also a dietary factor whereby a lot of people are found smoking and they tell you, oh, I don't smoke. But if you stay around somebody who smokes, you are a secondary smoker. And smoking can also increase the risk for breast cancer, and then including other diseases as well. So those dietary habits can put you at risk for it.
I see. So is it the overall, so for the food part, is it the overall eating patterns or does that also count? Because you talked about fatty foods. Does that also count, the eating pattern really, and the balance?
Good. So everybody says they want to eat a balanced diet, right? So when it comes to the diet part, it's not generally just the food, but then it takes into consideration what goes into the food, the quality of the food. All right, so quality of the food means when it comes to protein, carbohydrates, and fat or what portions are you doing? Okay, so having balance, or let me just speak about the balanced plate. All right, so for you to have a balanced meal or balanced plate, we encourage you to have about 40 to 50% of the plate coming from vegetables and fruits, whereby you can give half of the other percentages, like 25 to 30% to carbohydrates and another 25 to 30% to protein. Then you know that you are not relying on one part of the nutrients. Unlike people who go for carbohydrates being like 90% of the plate, and then some people don't even have protein, some people don't even have vegetables. So the quality of the food, which is you having a balance or adequate nutrients on the food, also is one. The second one is timing, meal timing, right? Now, meal timing, based on your schedule, you can have your breakfast or your first meal first 2 hours after you are up or you are awake, all right? So that it can fuel the body to start the day. Now, based on your schedule and based on the quantity of food you had for your first meal, you can decide to have a second meal as well, and then you have your third meal. Now, the third meal usually it comes at the late part of the day, and then people decide to have it very close to bedtime, which is not healthy because the digestion process takes some time, whereby the digestion takes place, and then being mobile or moving around also helps enhance digestion. So if you have to take your last meal and just stay put at one side or sit somewhere calm without engaging in any activity, it slows down the metabolism, which is the digestion and absorption. So just by having a late meal alone doesn't make it healthy for your body, right? So that's the second one, being the meal timing. Then the third one, so I spoke about quality. The third one is also portion control, right? Portion control, so that you wouldn't have to, have a lot of one type of food on your plate. Okay, so portion control comes in based on your body mass index and also based on your resting metabolism. These are a bit technical terms whereby we now delve into it. So if you want to make good quality of food, good timing and portion control, you might as well want to meet a dietitian to guide you through. But then it's good to know that the balancing of the food, the timing of the food, the portion also plays a huge role when it comes to having entire healthy intake.
I see. But do you think people in Ghana actually pay enough attention to their daily meals? And I mean, the portion and things you're talking about. Do you think that we do that?
Okay, so the concern is on both ways. So one is that I'm not too convinced people do that. A lot of people don't do that. All right, and even those who want to do it for a specific period of time and they are done. I'm sure there are months that you pick that you want to exercise and you do it for some few days and you are done. There are months that people pick that, I want to eat healthy, and they just do it for like 1 month, 2 months, and they are out of it. They are back to their previous way. So it's something that we don't really stay consistent to, right? And I won't blame people too much because our economic factor to play a role. Somebody who is trying to make ends meet would want to just have a quick breakfast. So probably the person will want to go for cocoa this morning, and if God permit, the person can get some bread on the side. That's like carbohydrates from the cocoa and then carbohydrates from the bread, right? So telling this person, have one boiled egg and some granules in it to bring some protein will be too much for the person's budget for the day. Okay. So economic status also plays a role. But then we are also not too proactive when it comes to our health. Okay. Those from the Western side are a bit proactive when it comes to their health. They are able to control portions. They are able to select more of the vegetables and the greens on their food, right? But here, it's either the person is being scared by their disease condition, whereby they tell them, you have diabetes, you have hypertension, or you are very close to having breast cancer. that's when the person is going to, try and put in all their effort to get it done.
Yeah.
But aside that, we live by the means, and until we have a problem, we change. So we don't really practicalize it that much in Africa, and that's for the matter Ghana.
I see. But what is one misconception you think actually keeps people from taking prevention? Because you from what you said, it looks like we focus more. We are more reactive than proactive when it comes to our health. What is one misconception you think actually keeps people from taking their prevention serious?
Okay, so African Ghanaians basically believe that if the thing doesn't prevent me from moving, I can manage it till I'm ready. Right? So if the thing doesn't prevent them from going through their daily activities, they are okay. They can manage it till it becomes better. You understand? So we now previously we don't have the education, like a lot of education on this.
Yeah.
But currently there are a lot of education there on social media, in the world. Now people have health professionals in their homes. If it's not a nurse, a doctor, a pharmacist, you definitely have somebody connected around. So we get this education on the radio, people. So now it's past education. Now we are getting the education, right? Now it's done on us. It's becoming on us to be able to be proactive about it. You have the education now. This can do it, but some people tell you African stomach it's manageable. So like I said, if the thing doesn't prevent an African from engaging in their daily activities, they don't see it. Now, one problem of doing or going according to that way of life is that when you are ready now to pay attention to it gets to the end stage or latter stage. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So management wouldn't be that efficient, all right? So imagine let's take your sugars going high from time to time, and they keep telling you, manage your diet. Too much of the carbohydrates is being, having effect on your food. Have to change this lifestyle, and the person is not changing it until the person now has high sugars for a longer period. Then the person starts coming for management. At that point, prevention becomes very, very difficult. Curing becomes very, very difficult. We can only manage, right? And then they'll be on the medication from time to time. So that's just an example. So we always present the condition at a late stage, and then at that point, reversal becomes very difficult, and all we need to help you with it by managing it. So the problem is about us changing, because now the education is there. And the professionals are there too now. I'm sure if you count 5 hospitals, you get 2 hospitals with dietitians. So the education is there, professionals are there, but how do you go about it yourself? That's how
the discipline is also important.
Yes, yes, a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, many people actually think. I mean, you are telling us today that your food, I mean, the things you're eating, actually poses a certain risk. Gives you that. I mean, creates that room for you to get some cancers and all of that. Now, but many people think breast cancer is purely genetic. That if it doesn't run in your family, then you are safe. How true is that?
All right. So, if breast cancer doesn't run in your family, you are not entirely safe. All right. So, there are a lot of factors, and for the non-modifiable ones, the one you can't do anything about, genetic or family history is just one out of them. All right. And there are people who are even having the family history and do not have breast cancer. You get that part too. So family history and genetic is not entirely the risk factor. There are other risk factors too, right? If you permit me to touch on some of them.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like being a female, it's a risk factor. And that's a non-modifiable risk factor. Being a female. Why is being a female a risk factor? Because females have, unlike males, females have the exposure to the hormones that I'm talking about. That was the estrogen and progesterone. Now, early menarche, which is having your menstruation at an early stage, that before 12 years, that's maybe 11, 10, 9. Early menarche also predispose you because at that point, maybe we are speaking to or somebody is checking at age 25. So if you are having your menstruation from 12 or let's say 10, that means you are having 15 years of exposure to this estrogen and progesterone, and this is also a risk factor. All right, so early menarche is a risk factor. Then age is also a risk factor, right? So it's shown that 40 to around 49 are the peak ages, but currently research is also showing that people are getting it as early as 20, 25. Yesterday, I heard a survivor say she detected her at 30. So age is also a factor, which is not related to family history, all right? And also past history of other cancers. So probably you have a past history of ovarian cancer, lung cancer, or any other cancer. Then you are at risk for breast cancer too, because cancer spreads through the body. So probably if it's in the lung, you might realize that it has spread to the breast as well. So previous cancer also. Then exposure to radiation. I'm not sure this is also related to family history. So having, previous exposure to radiation, right? So for radiation therapy, we needed some amount. So even those who work at the radiographic department have machines that they use to check how much of the radiation they are having into their body, and there are limits to it, right? But finding yourself in work or finding yourself in areas where you have a lot of exposure to radiation can also put you at risk. So these are other risk factors that are not really family history and genetic related, but they can also put you at risk for breast cancer.
I see. That is very enlightening. But so would you say? I mean, would you say that lifestyle factors, weigh more heavily than genes for most people?
I would say yes. We have most of the lifestyle factors being as in the major or being a pivotal part of the risk factors, right? Compared to even the family history. We are not denying the family history and genetic is one of the risk factors, but the lifestyle factors can put you closer to the risk than even the family history. Right? Let's take this lifestyle. So lifestyle factors is not only about food, but let's take a lifestyle factor like knowledge parity, right? Somebody who is in the age of giving birth, and at that moment, the exposure becomes more. From a younger age, you are menstruating, the exposure to the hormones, which is the estrogen and progesterone, keeps increasing. Right? So when you are growing and you are not having a child, that means the exposure becomes high, because during pregnancy and during exclusive breastfeeding, the menstruation stops, and then that exposure reduces. So that's like a way of helping you stay away from the hormones a bit. So having a child for a longer time helps or causes the exposure to increase more or to be more, and that can put you at risk. So that's a lifestyle factor, right? Compared to increased parity, whereby somebody has a lot of children, that person is likely to stay away from these hormones for a longer time. Okay. Another one is breastfeeding. Right? There are people after delivering, they don't really have time to breastfeed their children, right? And that's also a lifestyle factor, because breastfeeding is a natural way of staying away from these hormones and then helping you to reduce the risk of getting breast cancer. So somebody who voluntarily says, "Oh, I'm not ready to breastfeed, maybe because I don't want my breast size to change, or I don't have time to breastfeed, or the child is in a different country, I'm here, I have to go to work." All these are lifestyle factors, and this can put you at risk for breast cancer, right? Then other lifestyle factors like the food part, as I already spoke about this, exercise and weight loss. Huge lifestyle factor, right? If you want to lose weight and you start today, you are going to lose some weight maybe in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So that factor depends on you. It's a lifestyle factor. You've seen your weight increase. You've seen your sedentary lifestyle. You realize you don't even walk 10 minutes a day. It's from the house to the car to the office, seated, and back to the car. In traffic, you feel tired. The tiredness is not from anything. The tiredness is just from sitting at one place, right? So that lifestyle factor can also put you at risk. So these are things that we can change. They are modifiable, and when you are able to work on them, you'll be able to reduce the risk for breast cancer.
I see. So for those with family history, can good nutrition and lifestyle still lower their risks?
Okay, yes. So definitely good nutrition, healthy lifestyle can help you manage it. In fact, that's what we even preach. If you have a family history of breast cancer, aside you being careful about your early menarche, your childbirth, and others, yes, good nutrition should play a role, right? A lot of meat doesn't spoil the soup, you know. So having healthy lifestyle and also, guiding yourself through the family history pattern of it is good. Now, when it comes to the family history of it, all we want you to do is consistently check so that we can, even when it starts to come, you be able to see it at stage 1, not stage 4. And that has been a rising concern in Africa, right? So Africans present breast cancer either at the late stage, either stage 3 or stage 4. And at that point, just a little can be done, right? Unlike the Western world that they check it regularly. The survivors, some of them will tell you, oh, mine was treated stage 1, stage 2. But Africans, excuse me to say, even if they realize anything like that, they will want to go for spiritual, age first, and the medical part become the last one. When, people have problems with their breast entirely before they will come to the hospital, but they want to go for other spiritual healing, which, at the end put them at risk. So yes, if you have a family history, you should take the lifestyle very serious, even compared to somebody who doesn't have the family history.
All right. Okay. Let me just announce the phone line just in case somebody's listening to us and they want to join the conversation. So exactly 20 minutes after 9, this is a business breakfast on ZED 101.9 FM with me, Nitrebi Hammond. And this morning we're talking about breast cancer, but we're looking at it in terms of our nutrition, lifestyle, and also awareness proper. And my guest is Julius Sharma, and he is Sama, right? And he is registered licensed dietitian, and he's joining me in this. He's having this conversation with me. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to send us a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment on any of the posts if you want to join a conversation, and we'll read your messages for you. All right, Julius, let's continue the conversation. Now, there's a lot of hype, around anti-cancer foods. We hear things like green tea, beetroot, turmeric, and all of that. How are these claims true? I mean, how true are these claims really?
Okay. So the, in quotes, anti-cancer food that we get being projected every time are just a way of letting you know that you should eat healthy. That's all right? So let's say, for instance, somebody who wants to lose weight, and weight loss or weight gain is also a risk factor, right? Who wants to lose weight? If you tell the person, oh, eat healthy, the person wouldn't really want to take you serious. Like you tell the person, take this tea, but there are rules to the tea. When you take this tea, you don't eat fried eggs, you don't eat fried meat. When you take this tea, you control this portion, you don't eat this amount. So just by taking the tea, the person will be able to comply to the rules, right? So that's how the anti-cancer foods are. They're just a way of projecting healthy intake, bringing balance to the food, prioritizing antioxidants. And antioxidants are from natural spices, fruits, vegetables. These foods have antioxidants, and antioxidants play a role in fighting or helping the immunity or fighting any disease organism in the body. So having these teas are very rich in antioxidants. Imagine tea containing turmeric, black pepper, cloves. You know cloves,
Yeah,
right?
cloves, yeah.
Right. These ingredients are very rich in antioxidants. And when it comes when we were doing the COVID time, you realize a lot of people doing a lot of herbs, and then we were boosting our immunity with vitamin C and fruits. People were boiling a lot of things. The recipe was a lot during
Yeah.
COVID. That idea is just to build immunity.
Okay.
Because at that point, we are realizing that people who are healthy, when they come across the virus, they don't even survive it. So at that point, all we are doing is to help our immunity. And building your immunity helps to fight any disease that is into your body, including cancer. Right? So the helping of the anti-cancer food is just for you to have a lot of antioxidants into your body so that you can fight this. So they'll tell you, have a balanced diet, more grains, stay away from red meat, do a bit of other protein. We concentrate too much on only the plant-based, animal-based protein, and we ignore plant-based protein. And we have a lot of plant-based protein, right? When it comes to the soya beans, soya chunks, they are there. So if somebody wants to start preventing cancer, and tell the person stay away from meat a while, do more of fish, do grilled instead of fried, do fresh instead of fried, and the person starts going according to it. That's just a way of now shifting you consciously to start a healthy eating pattern. You get it?
Yeah.
Because all we want you to do is to get a lot of the nutrients when it comes to the antioxidants, having balance, having portion control. Right? So they'll tell you, all right, when you are taking in turmeric tea, don't do bread. And the person tells you, yes, I'm taking turmeric tea and I'm not doing bread anymore because I'm taking anti-cancer food. But normally, if you have to tell you to even go for whole wheat bread or even cut down on the bread and do other sources of carbohydrates, you really want to do it. But because it's anti-cancer, we have, so it's a way of projecting. Most of the marketers are getting people on it, and they're just trying to help you stay healthy by changing your lifestyle. Like I say, the discipline is not there, so they have to do things that will bring the discipline into you. That's by carrying you with some of the rules around the product. But these are just all the eating patterns.
Right. Just so that you can build immunity. I think I get that now. So are there instances where people even still take these things and still suffer the cancers?
Oh yes. So there are instances. That's because you can pick a day to resolve a disease condition if you've actually been working towards or working against when you are young. You understand?
Yeah.
So somebody who wants to, so let's say a risk factor for cancer is weight, having excess weight. And so you've been able to pile this up from, let's say, 18 years, so you are 35, and you want to use 2 weeks to lose this weight. You see, so being realistic wouldn't really help.
Yeah.
Or you've been eating unhealthy. You're somebody Friday night, you don't stay Saturday, you don't even give a chance. You are all in there, the alcohol is going on, you are just chilling up and down. You don't worry about radiation, or you have family history, but you're just pushing through. And just by, having a brief education and assessment, you'll be like, okay, now I'm starting anti-cancer foods right away. This morning I'm starting. And you want to get results, let's say, quickly. By next week, you want the whole symptoms of the cancer to vanish. I'm not sure it's going to happen like that, right? So, like, still talking about late stage. Probably by the time they check your, stage of cancer, you're on stage 3 or stage 4. It becomes very difficult to manage. So even if you do that, the cancer food take morning, afternoon, evening, at that point, the management wouldn't be as effective as somebody who has done it preventively. So doing it is right, but you have to do it preventively. Even though if you have it, it will manage it, but like it's management,
Okay.
right? And so, yes, you can help you to manage it by the food, but then at a particular stage, you can help yourself if you do it early as a prevention.
I
Right? So
see.
prevention is better than
Is better.
cure.
While we are still talking about prevention, what specific foods, or maybe, I mean, I think you've already spoken about dietary patterns and some of
Yeah.
these things, but
Yeah.
what specific foods? I want you to be quite specific. If you can even give examples in our local Ghanaian context, I'll be very grateful.
Yeah.
Which ones have been shown to reduce the risk of breast cancer?
Good. So, like I said, it's more of the balance, right? So more of the balance is having the nutrients. Okay. So let's take for instance, so when you're preaching healthy balanced meal, right? So I'll touch on some of the foods. So let's take Hausa cocoa for instance. Now, if you look at the preparation of Hausa cocoa, the fiber is taken out as
Yeah.
part of the preparation method, right? Good. But in this case, for us to have healthy meal, we want you to have whole carbohydrates, foods that have fiber in them. So let's say you're having the Hausa cocoa with white bread and let's say margarine. Okay, at that point, I wouldn't guarantee a balance there because Hausa cocoa carbohydrate rich, it's refined, and then you don't have fiber in there. The bread, on the other hand, is also carbohydrate refined, right? Then you have your fat, which is your spread, and then so we don't have the protein in there. We don't have the balance from the let's say the fiber in there. We don't even have protein in there. We don't have vegetables in there. So just by having that meal, you realize that you don't need the balance. And you do it the next day, and become so consistent. So you realize that you don't have the nutrients that are needed in there. I already spoke about antioxidants, right? So it's very important to know that if you don't have fruits on your meal, you are not eating 100% of your meal, right? Fruit makes your food 100%, right? And fruits are very rich in antioxidants. Likewise, the vegetables. So having some vegetables on your plate, which is let's say 40 to 50% of it coming from vegetables, and then also having that fruits and vegetables, and also having some of the fruits in addition, in a way, gives a lot of vegetables to the food, right? Gives a lot of fruits to the food, and that increases your intake of antioxidants. When you have such a meal, realize that you are helping the body with a lot of foods that are going to help your body compared to not having them at all. Let's take somebody who is going for wate. Wate is one of my favorite foods. So you want to go for wate, and let's say currently, if you can need to check the wate joint, realize that the beans in the wate, you can even count it all. You can even count the beans. So the rice is like 80%, and the beans is like 10 or 20% of it. So you realize it's full of rice. Okay, then you have that wate with gari, another carbohydrate. Then you tell the person to give you macaroni or spaghetti. You add to it, and that's also another carbohydrate. So even your first three choices are full of carbohydrates. Then maybe you add eggs, which is a good source of protein. And you said, okay, for me, I don't like you. I like shito. It might be shito with bread. Then they add a lot of shito to it for you, which is also full of saturated fat, because most of these people fry whatever they want to fry and use the oil preparing the shito. So it becomes trans fat and saturated fat. So just by enjoying that meal, you'll be like, oh, I'm enjoying a full meal, healthy. But the way I broke it down for you, you realize that the ingredients is one way.
Yeah.
The balance is not coming in there. The protein is just the egg. You don't have some vegetables in there. So antioxidants from fruit and vegetables shouldn't be there. So imagine you're eating wache continuously for 1 week. So you are staying away from this antioxidant 1 week. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't even have small teas that contain this turmeric, this cinnamon. We don't even use. And then one pandemic is people who don't use spices in their food preparation.
You don't use what?
Natural spices.
Natural. Okay, right.
Natural spices are very rich in these antioxidants. Having your pepper, having your garlic, ginger, onion. These are natural spices that you can use for your meal preparation, right? But
right.
because you want it to be quick, you want to use artificial ones, the ones that are made in packs, the ones that are made in spices, and this one, the preservation has a lot of sodium in it or salt in it. Okay, so these are the things, the lifestyle factors that put us at risk, and it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing, right? You do it every day, and it piles up. So the change can happen with these ingredients in your food, and all you need to do is that whatever you are going to eat, ask yourself: do I have some carbohydrates in there? Do I have some proteins in there? Do I have some vegetables in there? How quick can I get fruits? Some people finish eating before they go search for fruit, and if they don't get it, they are not worried. Do you get it? Imagine somebody is served, let's say, soup with fish and without banku. The person will ask the one who said, "Where's my banku?" Because we want the banku.
Yeah.
There. But when the person is served banku soup, fish without fruit, let's say orange, banana, pineapple, the person is okay. They don't even ask.
That's true.
Right? That's because we consciously don't value the nutrients you are getting from those. And the person can say, okay, let me finish and go and get fruit. And when you go to where you want to get a fruit and you don't see the fruit vendor, they're not worried. But if they serve you soup and fish without banku or fufu or kenke, you fight that day.
Yeah.
Because we are concentrating on the carbohydrate part of it. You get it?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's good for the body, actually. But then have a balance of it. The fruit should be in. The vegetables should be in, right? I met someone who says, I can't chew vegetables. Okay, if you can't chew it, then blend it and add it to your stew or your soup. It's the ingredients that I want for you.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So there are people who say, okay, I can't take it that fresh. I want to stir fry it. Fine, stir fry it so that we can get it, all right? So that we not overcook. And then some of the cooking practices can also denature these vegetables, all right? Some cooking practices. So let's say okra soup, right? You are supposed to, prepare the okra, which is a vegetable, for like 5 to 10 minutes. The okra should be okay, so that you don't have to overcook it to denature the nutrients in it. Most of the nutrients in the vegetables are water-soluble vitamins, right? So water-soluble vitamins need water to thrive. So imagine you are having a lot of oil in preparing your okra soup or okra stew. You see that you don't bring out the nutrients in it because it's not water-soluble. At that part of the day or whilst you are cooking, you have a lot of oil in it.
Yeah.
Okay? And putting the protein together with the food. So let me use the okra soup again. You are preparing okra soup. You have meat in the soup. You have fish in the soup. You have wele. Now, by the time the wele gets softened, the soup would have been prepared for like 30 to 40 minutes. You get it? And that would have denatured the nutrients in the vegetables, either the garden egg, the okra, all those nutrients would have been denatured, right?
Wow.
So we encourage that you prepare the grains different, that the okra, the garden egg, prepare them different, and then you prepare a stew of your protein. Then when you are going to serve, you add to it. That would be very good. And then you don't always have to do stew. When it comes to stew like nkontombe stew, you don't always have to use, put it on fire. You can cook the nkontombe for like 5 to 10 minutes, with just little water to soften the nkontombe. Then now you put the nkontombe into your earthenware bowl. You grind it. You add your protein. You are enjoying healthy meals. You haven't loaded with a lot of oil and you haven't overcooked it. The same for garden egg stew. You can prepare this garden egg for a while. Now move it into your earthenware bowl. Mash it or grind it a bit. You can add a little oil to it. And then add your protein. And you have it with your yam, your plantain, even with your rice. So the olden days cooking practices, I think we have to go back to them. Okay.
I see.
Yes. So these are some lifestyle factors that we can put in place.
Right. I think some of these things we must actually intensify, like education along those lines, because some of these things that you are saying, I'm not quite sure if people actually know some of these things.
Okay.
And so I think we need to do some more education. Maybe we'll find time and have those conversations proper here.
Good.
Right. Anyway, let's talk about now you talked a bit about, we've talked about food. You mentioned weight at some point. I want to know how important maintaining a healthy body weight, helps in reducing breast cancer risk.
Good. So in my line of practice, I've realized something. I realized that every disease has a link to being overweight or obese.
Say that again.
So I said in my line of practice, I realized that almost every disease has a link to being overweight or obese.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So yes, a lot. When it comes to risk factors of most diseases, obesity and weight is there, it's sitting at the top. Right? So that means just by being overweight or obese, you're putting yourself at risk of not just one disease, but multiple. And people get to that stage whereby they have multiple diseases, right? One is metabolic syndrome, right? So that's having diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. And if you are not able to manage the wounds and others, well, you can even move to ulcer, like ulcer wounds, right? Peptic ulcer too is there. All of these are related to your weight. So just by controlling your weight, you are giving the body, should I say, efficient opportunity to work very well. Okay. Now, weight has a lot of effects. If I want to start mentioning what excess weight can do, we are not going to close today, right? But that's for our people to know that for every height you have, every height has a particular weight. That weight, and it's even weight range, right? Because you might say, yes, it's very difficult to maintain one weight for a long time. So we have weight ranges. There are people based on their height, their weight is expected to be, let's say, from 50 to 62. There are people based on their height, their weight is expected to be from 60 to 75. Some people too are very tall, so they can handle 80 kg, 90 kg, and they are well balanced. They are fine. They get it. So per your height, you have particular weight range, and that is what guides us on being knowing whether you are overweight or others. Now, the weight is not only detected by BMI. We have something called waist circumference, right?
Yeah. So
we use the tape measure to check for it. That's just to help us know if your waist circumference is, matching up with your body, and that can let us know whether you are at risk for cardiovascular disease like hypertension, stroke, and others. Do you get it? So just by checking your waist circumference, we can also know you are obese. So we only not use the BMI. We use that waist circumference too. Especially people with pot belly are at risk. And if you question people with excess weight at the central part, if you question them, well, they'll tell you the same things that they're experiencing. Some of them say they sleep and they feel they can't breathe well. Some of them feel they wake up in the morning, it's consistent headache till the day ends. Some too, they feel so tired even if they are relaxing and they are not doing anything. All those are having impact on your body. So yes, it's linked. Weight gain is linked across all disease or most disease conditions. So all you need to help yourself. Now, this is where exercise comes into it. So some people say, oh, can I eat healthy and lose weight without exercise? Yes, you can eat healthy and lose weight. But you see, you only have the patience to stay consistent with little results that much.
Yeah.
So you have to add exercise so that it will fasten it for you. Because weight loss comes in with this combination, right? About 70 to 80% of the food should play a role. Then 20 to 30% of exercise. And please, when I say exercise, not 2 weeks and you do another. No,
Mm.
consistent exercise. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So let me use this example. There's this client who want to lose weight, and then I asked, okay, let's start with the meal. So initially, the client said, no, I can't do exercise. So I'm not an exercise person.
Person, right.
And I said, okay, we're definitely going to bring the exercise into it, but let's start with the meal. And then this person was so serious, consistent with the meal, and we were getting just little results. I was like, the result you are getting today, you can triple it if you start physical activity.
Mm.
And then the client said, okay, let me just start. And I said, okay, we don't want to do anything out of the way. Let's start with, let's say, skipping.
Okay.
So as how many you can do? She said, oh, 50 maximum, 50. Me, as I'm talking to you now, this client is able to do 1,500 skips a day.
Wow.
You get this? All we're doing is to increase about 20 to 50 every
Yeah.
day.
Mm.
50, that's increasing. So challenge yourself. Started with 50, so let's try 55. She did 55. Then now she can skip like continuously 1,500
Wow.
in the morning before she gets to work. You know, it's become a lifestyle. Now she's getting the results. The conditions which she was being educated to come for dietary consultation is resolving. So now she can see results, and she's not backing out. She's going extra. Do you get it? Because yes, it was blood pressure. Now the blood pressure is getting normal. She's able to maintain consistent blood pressure for long. Her BP, her sugars are good. The weight is reducing. She's seeing results. She's feeling better. Do you get it?
Yeah.
That's some motivation that people should actually embrace. Because when you start seeing results, you want to do it better.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So starting somewhere is the thing. And when it comes to exercise, you don't have to always jog. You can pick running. There are people who run, or there are people who walk, right? Who walk, let's say, 10 minutes every day. Imagine you are being consistent 10 minutes every day for 30 days. You would have seen the impact in it.
That's true.
Okay? Yeah. So the consistency plays a huge role when it comes to weight loss. Consistency comes from the food and then the physical activity or exercise.
Okay, we also touched a bit about smoking and drinking. Some people, smoke or drink occasionally and think it's harmless. How do these small habits actually impact the body over time? And maybe is there a safe level of alcohol or tobacco use when it comes to cancer risk?
Okay, so generally there are tolerable limits on intake for alcohol. Okay, right. So we say for males, 2 medium beer is fine for you. For females, 1 medium beer is fine. When it comes to hard alcohol, so the limits for males, 2 of the thoughts. For women, 1 of the thoughts. But all these are still not safe.
Right.
The tolerable limits, that doesn't mean it's safe. You understand? All right. Yes, there are tolerable limits to it, but still alcohol is not safe.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? When you tell me 1 nutrient you get in alcohol, you've heard that somebody gets in alcohol. I'm not saying you can mention any. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if they fortify an alcohol with vitamin A or C, you not get it in the taste, right?
Yeah.
And the calories in it is 0. Foods have calories. When it comes to calories, you know that it's something related to food, right?
Yeah.
Good. So calories are like the measurement of the nutrients or the energy that is in the food. Okay. So we tell you, when you pick, let's say banana, you get this number of calories. When you pick rice, this number of calories, because you are quantifying the nutrients in them. That's where you are getting calories. But imagine alcohol is giving you 0 calories. You get it. So already you don't get the nutrients in it. Now, imagine you are taking something into your body. It's not going to give you nutrients. It's weakening your muscles. It's also preventing you from eating. Do you think that is going to help with the proper functioning of the body? No. That is not going to help. So alcohol doesn't nourish you. It rather affects the nourishment. Okay? So people take alcohol and they say, oh, I take alcohol and then I don't feel like eating anymore. It suppresses your appetite because appetite, the sensation of appetite comes from the brain. And at that point, the whole feeling of being dizzy or not aware of yourself doesn't give chance to the brain to function for you to eat. So you might get malnourished just by taking alcohol. It weakens the muscles. And here we are saying that the cause of cancer is, the cells reacting to themselves. And the main cause is unknown. Research is yet to find the exact cause of cancer. But all we know is that the tissues react to themselves. So if tissues are likely to react to themselves, and you are already bringing things into the body that weaken the operation of these tissues, don't you think it's easy for them to react against themselves?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very easy for them to react against themselves. Okay. Now, smoking too, on the other hand, suppresses the immunity of the body. Likewise, alcohol. So we are fighting to build immunity so that this antioxidant can fight, any wrong coding in the body, any pathogen in the body, any bacteria in the body.
Yeah.
Realize the case, you are taking things that will suppress the immunity, like smoking.
Right.
Yes, it goes into the lungs. You are developing lung cancer, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. It spreads to the breast, and then you now have breast cancer. And this is on both genders, either male or female. Right? So concurrently, 1 out of 100 males are likely to get it. Okay, so it's very, very, very important to pay attention to these lifestyle factors. And smoking is I don't know why people smoke. They might have reason for it, but smoking doesn't make you satisfied. It just gives you the euphoria of a particular feeling, which fades shortly, and you need to smoke again to get back that feeling.
Yeah.
And when that feeling gets over, you need to smoke again. So unlike you having time to eat healthy meals, you are not having time to do smoking, right? And I tell people, smoking, the smoker is not the only one who is holding the cigarette or the source of the smoke. Okay, the one who is around that person is a secondary smoker. You get it?
Yeah.
Yes, because you are there, you inhale, and you don't bring it out. Even the first person takes it in and brings it out. You get it? Brings some amount out. So secondary smoker will be like, oh, I don't smoke at all, but you hang around with people who smoke. You stay in an environment whereby a lot of smoking is going on, and you are chilling and you are enjoying. All this can put you at risk for breast cancer. So because the cause of breast cancer, which is the tissues reacting to themselves, is unknown, anything that can put you at risk are educated about.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why we don't give safe zones around it. Because the cause is unknown, we tell you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Right? Unlike diabetes, we know that it's the insulin not being high and that's not being enough, and that can cause excess glucose to affect you. We will now advise you on the glucose, right?
Yeah.
So that's for diabetes. We go straight forward to it. But for cancer, including breast cancer, the cause is really unknown. So anything that can put you at risk has to be tackled, and there's no safe zone. Even if you don't have family history, lifestyle factor can put you at risk. Even if you have family history, lifestyle factor can still put you at risk.
Right.
So you have to play all sides safe.
I see. So it looks like there's so much to talk about. But our time is almost up, and I want us to just talk about stress and sleep, which are also two very important things. And now these two things, we don't often link them to cancer. Do they play a role in any way?
Yes. So stress, has an indirect link to cancer. All right. Why am I saying that? So stress can be managed. You can't prevent stress. So you hear about stress management. You realize that?
Yeah.
Because each and every day you are prone to stress. Work, driving, moving around, walking, thinking. You have some amount of stress. So stress management is the key. Now, when you get tired or you are stressed or depressed, there's this hormone called cortisol, all right? Cortisol, which is we call it stress hormone. So anytime you are stressed, just know this particular hormone called cortisol increases, right? Now, increase of cortisol affects a lot of things. Increase of cortisol can affect your weight loss. So let's say you are losing weight and you are not having you're having a lot of stress on you. The weight loss wouldn't happen. No. It won't happen because excess cortisol affects how you lose weight. Excess cortisol also affects your blood sugars. Excess cortisol affects your your blood pressure, right? So if all these things come together, I'm not sure you will get a successful weight loss. And also not losing the weight is a risk factor for breast cancer. You get the link?
Yeah.
So, and then if you are stressed and the cortisol level is high, it gives the signal to the body that, yeah, this guy is going through an activity. So you want to slow down your system, help you manage your stress. So excess cortisol affects weight loss, and that can go a long way. And then there are people too, when they are stressed, they binge eat, right? So let's bring this in. Binge eating means that you are eating just for pleasure, not for satisfaction. Okay?
Yeah.
So you be like, oh, get me some burger, and when you are coming, bring some chips, French fries, and add some plantain chips. And you are eating this, and you be like, oh, let me just add some soda drink to it. And you are not eating, you be like, I can't stay, let me chew something. So throughout the day, the person is just chewing, eating. The person doesn't have the sensation of, I'm full. No. It's just eating for pleasure. And people do that a lot when they are stressed, right? They eat to comfort themselves. So the person tell you, I'm stressed, let me just eat. There are people who eat just to cope with their stress. And when that is happening, that means the more you are stressed, the more you eat those foods. And during those periods, the craving doesn't come for healthy food. It comes for unhealthy food. Okay? So if you are stressed consistently, that means you are likely to, your mood is likely to influence your food intake. And there are people who like to comfort themselves with food. So at that point, they end up binge eating, and that can add up to their weight. And the binge eating comes with unhealthy food. So the fat is going to increase, their weight is going to increase, salt is going to be high, and at the end of the day, all these risk factors come together to influence, even if you have a family history of this condition.
Okay, just Julius, let's try and wrap up now. So let's bring it home.
Okay.
I mean, what can our listeners start doing today to protect themselves and their loved ones? Very quick ones here, then we can go.
Okay. So quick one. We are in the breast cancer awareness month, right?
Yeah.
So you can start by one, which is something we should all do, male or female. Do self-examination, right? Now, like I said, social media is there. Just type breast cancer self-examination, either on YouTube, Facebook, something will pop up and you can do it yourself. So start by breast examination, or you can go to the facilities, the clinics, the hospitals. Currently, they are doing it for free. Even somebody told me that she went for breast examination and they end up giving her a package.
Wow.
I don't know how that is good. So they do that because corporate groups, companies have, female packages or women packages, male packages for those who come to do the screening, and it's for free. So you can go and do that screening. Aside the screening, please start managing your food. It all starts with the consciousness. Monitor your food, okay? I'm eating first, breakfast, lunch, dinner. What you can start today is by having balance in your meals. Balance should be the first thing. If you want to start eating right now, today, this afternoon, as I'm talking to you right now, get balance in your meal. And balance means your food has some carbohydrates, some protein, some vegetables, some fruits, and some oil. Do you get it? Balance it. Don't let any of this get missing in your food. So if you are having consciousness to balancing, if you want to go for porridge this morning, you will not go for, let's say, Hausa cocoa with tea bread. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Realizing that there's no balance in there. But if you want to have balance in there, then this morning you can go for the Hausa cocoa with some granules or other form of nuts like almond nuts, cashew nuts, others. You can go for some of the nuts and then do some kose. You know, kose is made of beans, right? So you get protein from the kose, you get protein from your nuts, and also healthy fat from the nuts, which is granite, and then your carbohydrates being the cocoa. So in that instance, you have a balance in there. So let's start with balance. Then the second thing you can do today is meal timing, right?
Yeah.
Your last meal. You want to have your last meal 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. You get it?
Okay.
Before bedtime. And then, you know, whilst you finish eating, don't just sit down. You know, engage in some form of activity. Right? But we encourage that you have early dinner or early last meal. If you can do that, you realize that able to manage it. So yes, balancing meal timing, start it today. Exercise and others you can eat later. We are good to go.
Right, Julius, thank you so much. I think it's been a very, very great conversation with a lot of insights. Really grateful that you joined me.
You're welcome.
All right. Please do enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Sorry, say that again.
Yes, thank you so much, and I hope to join you again
soon. Sure, definitely. All right, so that was Julius Sama, and he is a registered licensed dietitian, and he's giving us so much insight as to how your diet, really your lifestyle as well, affects or puts you at risk to breast cancer. And so a very important conversation. If you miss any part, you can visit our social media platforms. On Facebook, we're at ZFMGH, and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please do well to visit those platforms, and you can play back and learn a lot of things about the food you're eating and how that makes you puts you at risk to breast cancer. So that's how we wrap up today on the Business Breakfast on Z. It's been a very great conversation. We'll be back again tomorrow for more interesting ones. Tomorrow is Friday, so we'll bring you another very good conversation that will help you in terms of lifestyle or leisure. So please keep listening to Z101.9 FM. My name is Nitrebi Hammond. Thanks so much to the team for their support. Until we meet again tomorrow, when you think Ghana, please think Z. And I'll see you tomorrow. Up next is the Impact